Hello, my friends. Welcome back to the podcast. As we are approaching December and 2024, which is crazy because it feels like it was yesterday that it was the beginning of the year, but at the same time, it doesn't feel like it was yesterday. I feel like time is doing this thing where it's feeling like it's taking, like it's passing by really quickly, but at the same time, it feels like it's passing by not that quickly. I don't know if you have that sensation. I know a lot of my friends and myself included, I know we are having a lot of that sensation in a lot of different people. So yeah, I thought that as we are approaching the new year and December, I really wanted to create like a mini series of episodes until the end of the year in which I'm going to talk all about soul manifestation, which is not the mental manifestation that you have, but it's really something that I have been leaning into more and more in the past years since I started learning more about the energetics and the mechanics of manifestation. I have seen things in my own life and I have tried things in my own life that have really worked. And I just really wanted to share them because I feel like with all of this new year energy, we all want to create something new. We want to feel different and we want to just step into this best and most highest and aligned version of ourselves. And for me, that's very much what soul manifestation is all about. It's all about creating a life that is aligned to that version of yourself, the highest version of yourself, instead of creating a life and wanting to create a life that is from this place of conditioning, of external validation, of I need to create certain things so I can be accepted or so I can be worthy in the world. When we are talking about soul manifestation, we are talking about the idea of you are a creator and you are deciding to create knowing that you're already worthy and deserving of having whatever you want. So it's really a creation from a limitless space. And I really, really enjoy that type of mentality because it puts you in this place of if I knew that I was limitless, if I would create from this place of no limitations, of abundance, and from knowing that I'm already worthy and deserving right now, then what would I create instead of needing the job, needing the relationship, needing whatever else it is to then feel like you're worthy or valid in a way. So, based on this, so as we have this kind of baseline of what I just expressed, something that I have been leaning into a lot in this week is something that I am calling aligned vision, and that is what I want to discuss on today's episode. It's how can we create a vision for our future that is truly aligned. And I myself, if you know me or not, I have never been someone who really enjoys to think about the future. I don't like to be that person who is thinking, what am I going to be doing in 5 years from now? Or how is going to be my life in 5 years from now? Because I've always really liked being in the present and living in the present and kind of have a resistance with projecting myself 5 years from now because I feel like I am 29 right now. And when I was 20 years old, I thought that when I was 29, I was going to be married with my ex. I thought that I was going to be having children by now because I wanted to be like a young mom. I thought I would be living in in the UK, and I was going to be working with fashion and everything, and I had this whole life planned out for me. And I'm so glad that it didn't work out that way because the life that I'm having now is way more aligned to my person and how I have developed myself. And if I had stick to this plan and forced it to happen from this conditioning or from this mind version of myself, I would not be that happy. And I feel like I would have been stuck in a life that really wasn't for me. And I feel like there are a lot of people who do that, and that's why I really like to talk about soul manifestation, because it's more of the allowing of life to unfold to you in a way that is aligned to your soul in every present moment, in each present moment, because that's it's from this place that your soul is co-creating your future and your reality. So that's a little bit why I don't really like the 5 year thing, because if I was so stuck to that, I would have created a life that is really not aligned for me right now. And I think that, the vision of the goals that I might have for me in 5 years, they might change, because if I change so much from 20 to 29, then of course I'm also going to change from 29 to 35, or whatever that is. So yeah, I just really like to normally be more in the present moment. However, I have recently started doing this exercise with myself and with some of my clients. So if you don't know, I help primarily women that are entrepreneurs or beginning entrepreneurs to use their intuition and alignment as their marketing strategist. So I help them use their intuition and a more of a um aligned and spiritual way to build their businesses and build their marketing strategy and things like that. So, and their communication. So, I have been using this exercise that I call aligned vision, which is something that you at home you can use it for your own life and in terms of a more broad spectrum of your life, but you can also use it on your projects or on your um, businesses as well. So basically, what the aligned vision is that when you are building a business, or when you are, yeah, normally when you are building a business, when you're starting to build a business, we have this thing that we say, it's like, what is the mission, the vision, and the values of your company? And I really dislike like traditional marketing. That's why I do the work that I do a lot, because I can't believe that this is the way that we have to do it, and I don't think it has to. So this is what I am constantly dismantling, let's say. And when I saw this, however, I know that marketing still has a lot to teach us and to bring us, because it has been here forever and it does bring results in the physical plane. So I can't just, we can't just pretend that it doesn't exist or that it's unworthy or useless. So I got this exercise of like, what is the vision? So normally it's something that you're projecting into the future. And normally it talks more about like, what are the goals? What are the objectives that you want to achieve, or where do you want to be in 5 years from now with your company? And what I did was that I kind of like flipped a little bit the script from this mental way of seeing this exercise to a more soulful way of seeing this exercise in regards to what is the vision that my soul has for me and for the business and whatever it is that we're speaking. But let's speak in like life terms, general life terms. So what is the vision that my soul has for me in 5 years from now, or whatever is the timeline? Really, it's like the future version of myself. And instead of focusing on goals, this is the most important part of this podcast. Instead of focusing on goals and on objectives and things on the 3D reality that you want to achieve, I want you to focus on the feelings that you want to create for yourself and the emotions that you want to feel in 5 years from now. So when I sat down to do this exercise and I took inventory of first everything that was going on in my life and how I was feeling in my current life versus how I want to be feeling in the future version of myself, in the 5 year now from now version of myself, I realized that they were not aligned and there was not a coherence between them, because in the present moment I was filling my days up with so much stuff, and I am feeling so exhausted and drained. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can see it from my eyes how tired I look. And I was feeling so exhausted and drained from everything that I was doing. But I was putting myself in this box of I need to be doing these things. I need to be doing these things. When in reality, when I shifted for my to my aligned vision, I realized that the life that I want to create and the life that I want to live actually feels light, effortless, it feels fun, it feels peaceful, it feels just slow. It feels like the thing that I wrote down that was like the biggest thing was that it feels like I'm flowing down with the current instead of going upwards against the current, because that's what I am currently feeling so much. And the interesting and beautiful thing about doing this exercise with the aligned vision is that in reality, feelings are not something that you have to wait for something to happen in your life for you to get them. And ultimately, everything that we want to manifest and create in our lives, it's because of something that we want to feel. And so, based on this exercise, what is so beautiful about it is that you can start cultivating those feelings and leaning into those emotions in the present moment. So, it's not like, for me to feel light and at peace and effortless, I need to reach this amount of followers, this amount of listeners on the podcast, this amount of money on my bank account, or whatever it is that the mind wants to create in this sense. It's something that I can already feel right now. And then it's a question about looking at your life, looking at what you have, taking inventory of your current day to day, and then asking yourself, what can I shift in my reality and in my day to day to make sure that I'm opening up space to feel those feelings or to create more of these feelings and more of this emotion. So if lightness is something that I want to feel, then how can I rush less throughout the week so I can feel more light and slow? If flowing down the stream is something that flowing down the current is something that I want to feel, no matter when in my life, and no matter in which area in my life, then how can I build my week, or what activities, what to do's can I drop to make sure that I am feeling like I'm flowing with the current instead of against it. So it's really about building the aligned vision based on the feelings and emotions that you want to feel in your future, and realizing with yourself that this is everything, all of those feelings are already available to you right now, and that you can feel them in the now. And it's all about looking at your present moment and thinking to yourself, how can I detox my present moment to make sure that it's aligned with my future self? Because ultimately, the only way, and this is a little bit of how manifestation works, the only way to get where you want to go authentically, and the only way to get to where your soul wants you to get, is by starting to embody some of these feelings and some of those emotions into the now. So if your soul wants to create an effortless life, but you're then pushing yourself against the current, then how uncohesive and how not authentic is the present moment that you're creating? And then you can even go further with that and ask yourself, why am I not allowing myself to build an effortless now? Why am I not allowing myself to be light and at peace right now? And that you can open a big door that we can talk about it in the next episode, about the conditioning, about how the gap between where you are and where you're going to go is really in the processing of your blocks, your emotional blocks, your fears, your limitations, and everything that's in this process of unpeeling back the layers so you can get to your essence. But in this exercise of the aligned vision, this is already something that, as you lean into it, it already starts showing you a little bit of where your soul is laying and what are the things that you can start cultivating more of in your day-to-day life, instead of being so trapped in the conditioning of the mind and in this little rat race that we put ourselves into, in the molds of society of how we should be doing things, when in reality we each one has our own unique way of doing things. And that's so powerful to lean into, because that's when you will step into your authenticity and your uniqueness, and that's when things will start flowing for you in a way more effortless and magical and synchronistic way. So yeah, I really encourage you to lean into this exercise. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you do, please leave this podcast a review. It really, really helps us with the discoverability and just getting more people to drop into their souls and their authentic and unique versions and highest versions of self. So please leave us a review. And if you want to receive a free 11-minute meditation, I am sending this meditation to everyone who screenshots the review before sending it, because reviews are really weird. So make sure to screenshot your review, send it to us in the email that's on the show notes, which is blossomexperiment@gmail.com. And I'll send you this free 11-minute connection 11-minute intuition connection meditation, which is a beautiful meditation that is helping a lot of people get some intuitive guidance. So if that's you, make sure to send the screenshot of your review to this email. I hope you enjoy this more like mini condensed episodes on manifestation. I'm not sure about the consistency of them. I don't know if they're going to be weekly or bi-weekly. I'm going to do one every time that I get the inspiration and the kick and the emotional intuition to do it. So, yeah, if you have any other questions about manifestation, or if you want me to answer any other questions or any other things or talk on specific subjects, please let me know. Leave me a comment on YouTube or message me on Instagram. All of the links are on the show notes. So, yeah. I hope you create a very beautiful and authentic and magnetic week, and we'll speak on the next episode. Bye.